Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Nurdiana from 8th class 2018 English Education Study Program in Kipsiwangi. Now, I would like to present about a journal that I have been read. The title is Creative Writing as a Best Way to Improve Writing Skill of Students. This journal was published by uh, Joanna Paulijak from University of Lodz. So in this journal there are 5 stages. The first one, that is introduction, and then there are 2 ways how students learn to improve their writing skill, and then data collection and sample group, and then selected survey question and result, and the last is question. So the first one, I would like to explain about the introduction of this journal. As we know, each of us have a better or poorer capability to write. But when it comes to creative writing, it has to be taught that it is the one of the writing skill is to achieve. Creating good writers from students need constant, the wholehearted support. Certainly, students will enjoy the lecturer who support and provide them to write. Yeah. So in introduction, the student will happy all or will more interesting to write if their lectures give them support like that. So what is creative writing? According to National Association of Writers in Education, creative writing defined as study of writing such as drama, poetry, and then fiction, creative nonfiction, and many more. And it context through creative production and reflection on process. Uh, yeah. So now we move to learn a way. Sorry, I mean way. Students learn to write by reading, interpreting text, and writing. Uh, Creative writing, though, shouldn't be viewed as an associate degree activity that happens solely inside a course room walls. Lectures help to support the student development of writing habits and preferences also outside university. It is very good when teachers recognize that almost of the students do intensive writing for their own purpose, such as email, journal, electronic communication, internet sites, and blogs. So now we move to creative writing improves way of thinking. Um, Students in the survey suggested variety of necessary uses for writing, to resolve issues, to spot problems, and to rethink one thing that had already puzzled out, and the most important, to improve ways of thinking. Uh, this insight that this insight that writing may be a tool for thinking helps students to achieve goals never achieved before, and it definitely gives their what is that satisfactions. And then the conclusion, which emerged for the analysis of the survey, showed that excellent in teaching creative writing as thinking needs that lecture is familiar with various tools for thinking, such as journal, blogs, and then online discussion, forums, dialogue journal, and others. And then there are a variety of kinds of people thinking, patterns once they write, and what those kinds of thinking patterns seem to bring in terms of meaning. So I think in these sections that Creative writings can improve their ways of thinking, such as they thinking about the goals that never they achieved before. So they find the way how to achieve that goals, something like that. And now we move to the method. The main aims of the survey was to collection opinion about creative writing, uh, and then what can they improve their writing skills. So the method is the lecturers who did surveys asked to the student to give their opinion about creative writing and how they improve their writing skill. And then now we move to the data collection and sample group. So in these sections, the sample group consisted of 33 students, both female or male, at the age between 19 and 22. They were at their first year of BA degree full-time studies. Uh, like I said before, the survey asks for the student opinion and self-assessment. The following survey analysis is restricted only to the creative writing section. There are question 3, 4 and 5. Question 1 and 2 about gender and age were omitted. So there are 5 questions in this survey. The question 3, 4 and 5 uh, is just like the question who the student will answer with their opinion, but question 1 and 2 is about gender and age were omitted. Okay, now we move to the selected survey question and result. There are 3 questions. There is question 3, 4 and 5, and there are 4 answers. The first one is definitely yes, yes, no, and definitely no. So now question 3 is creative writing important to you? Why? In 33 people, 13% answer definitely yes, and then 18% uh, answer yes, and 2% answered no, and definitely no, it's no person answered that. So what is their answer? For definitely yes answer, the student said that if writing is not creative, there is no point of putting one's thought on paper. Other question that is creative writing is important, but only when it is crucial for a given person. If he or she has the ability of creating interesting texts or interpretations, I don't know if I have such ability, but I love to describe the reality. It gives me the possibility of self-development. So for the student who answered only yes, the answer is it definitely will come handy in the future. The other answer is because I try to write my own novel, creative writing activities are interesting for me and motivating in some way. So for no answer, student answer is it is not important for me because I don't like to develop such skill. The others answer is the most important for me is logic and clear information. Creative writing is troublesome for me as I don't have big imagination. So now we move to question 4. In question 4, the question is what type of creative writing is your most favorite or least favorite? Why? So, for wait. 15% said uh, said that story writing include detective story, what if stories, horror stories, and 9% um, answered that poetry writing include interpreting poems and song, and then 6% answered fanfiction writing, 3% answered screenplay writing or playwriting. So the summarize of this answer from the four question is I love story and diary writing as it gives me the possibility to describe reality in my own way. The other's answer is I like authorized writing because it gives me freedom of choice of the ending suitable for me. And then the other's answer is I love to write and interpret poetry. For me, it is the core of creative writing. So now we move to the question 5. The question is how the exercise mentioned above develop all your creative writing skills. The answer is they develop the imagination and therefore they help to prepare for writing for their BA thesis. The other answer is it is great springboard from formal letter and essay, and then the other answer is the more we practice the better writers we are. Now we already in the at the end section of this explanation of the journal, that is conclusion. As we can see from the above survey analysis, is creative writing activities are really the best way to improve writing skill of the student. In survey 1, that is question 3, almost 94% of them responded positively that creative writing is important for students. And then the survey revealed that the most popular creative writing activity was writing detective, horror, and what if stories, such as like that. And then as far as writing of the detective stories is concerned, the majority of students pointed out the importance of good materials and support provided by the teacher. So, according to the student opinion, it can be established that the field of positive influence of creative writing tasks are mainly vocabulary, grammar, imagination, and even self-esteem, etc. All things considered, we come to the conclusion that creative writing is the best way to improve student writing skills. Uh, as of the student wrote that creative writing opens your mind to different things. You can look at the world in a way you haven't looked before. So yeah, that is the explanation for me from this journal about creative writing is the best way to improve writing skill of student. So I hope the this video or the material can beneficial for us. And yeah, thank you for watching. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.